It is I, John O'Dragon, the uncommon voice for the common man, coming to you today live from Shadyside, Ohio, where I heard that Barack Hussein Obama, our exciting young new president, Big Daddy O, is involved in this chaos in Egypt, and that he has been in negotiations with an organization known as the Muslim Brotherhood, or as I like to call them, the Boys in the Muslim Hood. Now, if this is true, and Obama is talking to the Boys in the Muslim Hood, what we need to know is just exactly what is this organization. But of course, the left-wing wackos are telling us that the Boys in the Muslim Hood are nice, and they're good, and they're moderate, and they are not radicals or extremists, and we shouldn't be afraid of the Boys in the Muslim Hood. Yes, that's true. In fact, NBC News was the one that started this whole thing. Their senior correspondent, Richard Engel, says that he's had, quote-unquote, a positive experience with the Boys in the Muslim Hood. Absolutely no problem at all. George Soros, of course, like all these left-wing wackos, did an op-ed in the damn Washington Post, and he had this to say about all the chaos going on in the Middle East. He said, quote-unquote, the main stumbling block is Israel. In reality, Israel has much to gain from the spread of democracy in the Middle East as the United States has. But get this, but Israel is unlikely to recognize its own best interest because the change is too sudden and carries too many risks. And some U.S. supporters of Israel, like me, are more rigid and ideological than the Israelis themselves. But fortunately, Obama is not beholden to the religious right, which has carried on a veritable vendetta against him, and that the American Israel Public Affairs Committee is no longer monolithic or the sole representative of the Jewish community. Now, of course, from that we gather that our good buddy George Soros, a big contributor to Big Daddy O himself, seems to think that all the problems in the Middle East are caused by who? Well, that would be Israel. And of course, we all know, what anybody with any brains knows, that Jimmy Carter is a known anti-Semite, another liberal Democrat. But since we have all this love from Obama, Soros, Richard Engel, MSNBC, Chris Matthews, the whole left-wing Islamo lover left, let's just see just exactly how these people think in the Boys in the Muslim Hood. Now, their stance on certain issues is a little bit disturbing. Now, let's just hear what they have to say about Israel. They said, quote, that the Zionist civilian and soldiers should be killed because the Zionist people as a whole is an armed military that occupies Palestine, and there is no difference between the Zionists and the civilian ones. Do you get that? The military Zionists and the civilian ones, I should say. But if you read that and you hear that, yeah, these are the Boys in the Muslim Hood. Nice people. The ones that the Islamo-lammers in the left just absolutely love. Let's hear some more things of what they got to say. Okay, here's what they have to say about Iran and them developing a nuclear weapon. They said that they believed, quote, that Iran nuclear program would be used for peaceful purposes. But if it were to have a military purpose, it would serve to balance the Israeli nuclear arsenal. It would create a sort of balance between the two sides, and the Arab and Islamic side and the Israeli side. And he said he had no problem with Iran having nuclear weapons. There you go. That is the Boys in the Muslim Hood that the left-wing Islamo lovers want us to believe are moderate and peaceful. But they had a few interesting things to say. say about us in Iraq, too. They didn't seem to like the idea that we were in Iraq. In fact, they said that this is what they said about the foreign occupation of Iraq, that there should be jihad and martyrdom are the way to glory and victory. And he stated that Islam regards resistance against the occupation of Iraq, that's us, a quote-unquote, a jihad for God. Now, do these sound like a bunch of moderates? Does this sound like a bunch of people that we should be in negotiations with? Well, that's what they tell us. The Islamo lovers at MSNBC, we should talk to these people. We don't have any problems with the boys in the Muslim hood. Well, by God, I got a problem with the boys in the Muslim hood. And I think that if our administration is actually talking to these damn extremists, and I'm going to call them what they are, a bunch of damn Islamic extremists, and our president is talking to them the same way I am talking to you. That is ridiculous. And if this is true, then the Republicans right now need to launch an investigation into this and find out just exactly what it is that our exciting young new president, Barack Hussein Obama, is doing. Is he going to sell Israel, our true ally, down the river? By God, that's what it looks like to me. And we need an investigation. We need hearings and find out just exactly what it is that our Islamo-loving president has done and how much he has sold us out to these damn boys in the Muslim hood. Until next time, this is your favorite Islamo-homophobia. God, I love it so. Ronald Reagan, the uncommon voice for the common man, saying this to you now. When travesties like this break out, my tirades break in. Until next time, arr!